welcome back to Marla Catherine. I am Marla of Marla Catherine. Welcome back to Marla Catherine, starring Marla. That's me. Today's video is going to be like all things girl talk, just like a big soup of like a big jumbo of just all these fun topics. I was inspired by the What We Said podcast. They do like these advice columns once a month on every like the last Friday of the month, I think. I love that podcast. Anyway, but they like pretty much just read submissions from their viewers and then they read them and talk about them, and I thought that'd be kind of fun to do that more in like a YouTube video format with some shorter prompts and just yeah. So I asked you guys on my Instagram story to submit your like your situations, and I guess Evelyn and I are just gonna be going over these and reacting, trying to give advice. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram at Marla Catherine, then you wouldn't have known about this, so go follow me and better luck next time. I don't even need to put a disclaimer out there because like you guys already know, but like I'm not a therapist in any way, shape, or form. This advice, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, let's just do this first one. So it says, is it okay to agree to go on a first date with someone even if you know you're not into them? Here's my theory with first dates. If you haven't been on a lot of first dates, go. Even if you're not that interested with them, just because you go on a first date doesn't mean you have to marry them. So go on that first date, get that experience, and then once you feel like you've gone on quite a few first dates, you have it down a little bit where you feel a lot more confident, a little bit more comfortable, you're better at conversating, then start getting like pickier with who you're going on your first dates with, because if you really aren't interested in the guy at all, like it's a waste of his time and your time if you feel like you are now looking to actually pursue something. So I feel like at first, be open to going on a butt ton of dates, but then like over time become pickier. And if you think the guy's cute, go on the date. If you think they're but have a great personality, go on the date. If you think they're in personality and looks, word might drop.
You need to fart so bad on a date, what would you do?
Do it. And then if they stay, marriage. If they don't, on the first date, would you fart on the first date? Like
no.
actually?
No. There's no way.
I don't think I would either. I would burp on a first date. I feel like if you had been on the first date for a while and like you both were like just clicking and like laughing a lot and like it felt appropriate, I would like burp. Like I think a burping contest would be fun. I feel like farting's different than burping. I feel like farting's more like intimate. Maybe save that for the third date.
I can't seem to start conversations with strangers, but I want to make friends.
So you're not the greatest at beginning conversations, but you do want to make friends.
Conversations out of thin air.
I think the greatest thing you can do is look at the person up and down, find something, even if it's like literally
paint them up and down.
No, paint them up and down like this. No, like look at them, find something, even if it's like you like the color of their socks, like something so stupid, and just compliment them. That I feel like is a great gateway to just at least like starting maybe a potential conversation, because once you compliment them, they can be like, oh, thank you, and you can ask them where are they from, and then they say Kohl's, and then you're like, I love Kohl's, and then they can either take the bait of the conversation, pursue it, or dismiss it. But I think just also remember that like when it comes to complimenting someone, I feel like you could really never regret complimenting someone. The other day I was like at college and I was walking to my car and this guy was wearing a sweatshirt like of a rival school, and I complimented him because I thought it was funny. And I was like, I like your sweatshirt. And he like stopped and was like, thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. And like it seemed like that made his entire day by just me saying like, I like your sweatshirt. And I think with compliments, like that's a great way to just make their day feel better. It makes your day better. And then on top of that, I think you can then explore that compliment a lot more and like begin a greater conversation with that, because then you can find common ground. Maybe you like Kohl's too. Maybe you shop there as well.
What do you do if you really miss someone you no longer talk to?
Now, I feel like that you need more context, because like, why do you no longer talk to them? Like, are you like done with the friendship? Did they move away? I need more context. But like, I think if it's you miss someone that you like broke up with, I guess ask yourself like, are you missing them because you miss the companionship and like the fun times you had together, or like are you missing the idea of them, or do you actually miss them? Are you tolerating the many lows for the few highs? I feel like I need more context to answer that question. But if it's someone that you're missing because you broke up with them, I guess come back to like, are you missing the idea of them, or are you missing actually them? So. And if you're actually missing them, maybe reach out again.
Twin brothers, you're make-out buddies with one of them, he really likes you, but you're in love with the other one.
Why are you make-out buddies with the one you don't like? If they look the same too, why does it matter? No. Are these fraternal twins or identical twins? Oh, that's like a sticky, icky situation. Now, okay, here's a question. How often are you being the make-out buddy with this guy? Like, was that like a one-time thing, but then you realize you like the other one? Or are you doing this consistently, but you still like the other one? Because if you're doing it consistently, stop that. End that. Tell him that you think it's been a fun time. I think just be honest, because like, that's just gonna create like a bigger wedge between you and like these brothers, because you're gonna be like physically with one, but like emotionally it seems like you're attached to the other. Very interesting. I feel like that's a sticky situation. Like, how did you even get into that? Like, did you just like, did the identical twin brother come in the room and you're like, there's two, there's another one?
How to let someone down gently and / not lead them on.
I think with this, I've come to learn, people might like destroy me on the internet for this, but I feel like you can't do the same thing for each guy, because each guy is going to be different. Here's the deal. If you go on like a first date with someone, you're like, that was super fun, it was good, I'm just not interested in pursuing something with them, and then they text you again and ask you to go out again, just be honest with them. You can just say, hey, like, I had a great time, but I'm just currently not interested in pursuing anything. Thank you. If they're a normal, not psycho guy, then they'll like respect that, say thank you, move on. That'll be it. But I feel like in the past I have had like other guys where it's like I've literally explicitly told them like I'm just not interested, and like very persistent still, and it's like that's when you just need to like lay down the law and be like, okay, I'm literally not interested in you, please stop talking to me, because like literally just block their number, because at that point you really don't owe them anything. Like sure, maybe they paid $4 for your ice cream on that first date, but it's like you don't owe them anything, they don't owe you anything, and so it's just like be nice but be firm, because I think at the end of the day it's even more rude to lead someone on and make them think that you like them when you actually don't.
What would you do if your friend is dating someone really toxic?
How close are you to this friend? Like if this is like your best friend, because like my fifth there with dating someone that like my family does not like. At the end of the day, you can tell this person as many times as you want that they're dating this horrible, awful person, but if they don't realize that themselves, if anything, that's going to create a wedge between you guys. You can be there for them, you can even advise them given like your own thought, but at the end of the day, like that's a conclusion that person has to arrive to. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. Like that person has to come to that conclusion that they're toxic themselves, or else they're gonna feel like you're trying to pull them away from them, or they're gonna start not liking you. You can give your advice, have a real honest conversation with them, but if they don't react well to it, leave it be. Be there for them, be a good friend, be there if they do end that relationship and come to terms. Like don't be like I told you so, just be there to accept them with loving arms. And I think that's really all you can do, because at the end of the day, like you gotta let people do their own thing, because you can't learn a lesson for someone else. Like that's something they got to come to the conclusion for.
Should I cut my mean friends off and tell them, or should just distance myself?
So you're wondering how to end friendships. Like do you just do a blunt ending, or do you like kind of let things slowly fade out? Me, Marla, like I personally like it when things just fade out when it comes to friendships, because I feel like blunt endings are a lot more dramatic for me. Now if it's someone like I'm in a relationship with, like I think it's better to have like a closure conversation. It depends on the friend. You're gonna know this best, but like for me, if sitting down and having a conversation, especially if they're mean to you, like if you're sitting down and you tell them they're mean, they're probably gonna be mean again. So honestly, in this specific cause, like I would just slowly start distancing yourself from them, and then if they keep on reaching out, that's when you can have that conversation of like, hey, like look, I have enjoyed our time together, but I just am thinking of going a different route for now, like wish you the best of luck. So I think just slowly start distancing yourself. If they notice, have the conversation. If they don't, then good riddance. Just keep on distancing yourself from them, because I think once again you have to like understand your own worth and understand that like you deserve to have great people in your life. You can tell the quality of someone's lives by the time they spend with other people. Like if I'm with other great people, like my quality of life is probably better.
Oh.
Because it's like if I'm constantly surrounding myself with mean people, honestly it's gonna be hard to have a great quality of life, because you're constantly having this negative like energy or behavior just constantly influx into your life and just constantly coming in, versus like if I'm surrounding myself with people that treat me well and treat me the way I treat myself, then like I am going to have, it's gonna be easier to feel happier more consistently, because there's other happy people in my life. Another thing to remember is like, I know they always say there's plenty of fish in the sea when it comes to dating, but that's also true for friends. There's even more fish in the sea when it comes to friends. There's gonna be so many people that are gonna be so excited to cheer you on. I think something that like I've come to realize about some people is that they literally don't realize that there's good people out there. Like you end up settling for less because you think that's all that's gonna come. But it's like there's so many just as many sucky people as there are in the world, like that are going to be so eager to cheer you on and be your biggest fan and biggest advocate for good. And so just wait. Just hold off until you can find those people that are gonna make you feel exactly as you should be treated. What would you do if someone left a baby at your door with a note saying, take care of her for me?
Sounds like a fake situation.
That sounds like a lie.
What would you do? I'd call the popo.
I'd call a popo.
Like I swear to you over text, but not much in person. Doesn't mean anything.
Don't wait. You're wasting your time. Do not waste your time with people that are like they Snapchat you a lot, they like slide up in your Instagram DMs, but then in real life they give you nothing. They're not actually interested in you, because that's such a lame thing. If they really were, then they'd be pursuing real life conversations, real life interactions, Because it's just honestly, like, it's so easy. It's such an easy out to just, like, flirt with someone online and then come back in real life and be like, I'm gonna act like I don't even know you. Who's to say they're not Snapchatting and texting and DMing a lot of other girls the same way they're texting you? So.
Dang, fourth date, he kissed me. I don't know what to do because he hasn't texted me since that date a week ago.
That's hard. Because it's just, like, I think, like, did you really enjoy your time with him?
A week, though?
Yeah.
What, did he go on a trip?
No, that's what I'm saying is, like, you want to have the guy reach back out, but, like...
No, exactly.
I could say just leave it be. Like, wait for it to come from him. I mean, like, if you want, you can even just text, like, hey, how are you? And then if he like, doesn't text back after that, then, okay, like, he just ghosted you. But Evelyn and I were talking about this about how, like, when I was younger, like, I remember I would do, like, a lot of things that, like, looking back when I'm older, I'm like, holy cow, like, I was very brave. Like, I, like, remember I sang the national anthem in front of the school, like, all these, like, random things. I'm like, what the heck was driving me to do that? And we were talking about how it was just, like, I had a desire to do things, and even though I had that fear, like, my desire to do it was greater than that fear. And so it's just, like, in life, like, if you really, really want something, you're gonna want it greater than that fear that's, like, keeping you back from doing it. So I think, like, with a guy asking you out or something, like, if he really, really wants to, then, like, he'll prioritize that over the fear that he has. I'd say just leave it be. Maybe send a follow-up text, like, hey, how are you doing? And then if he doesn't respond to that, just say bye. And then...
My boyfriend broke up with me and then immediately got back with his ex. I see them every day.
I think what's really, really hard about that is that you still see them every day.
Yeah. Like, out of
and
sight,
now
out of
you're
mind.
just, like, alone. Like, you're just, like... I think my thing, I would say for that is, like, you gotta move on with your life. Like, you gotta wake up and keep on going. And as hard as that be, finding new opportunities and making new friends and finding new hobbies and passions, because there's gonna be better days ahead. I think one of my favorite lessons I've learned in this past year is that your best days are always going to be ahead of you. I'm a big believer that, like, the Lord doesn't reserve all your good days for, like, your youth, and he doesn't have, like, a limited number of, like, you're only gonna have 4 good days in your life. And it's like, no, like, good days will always come, and they're always gonna keep on getting better. So I just think, remember that. I like this guy from church. We've never talked, but we always make eye contact and sit next to each other. In seminary, should I shoot my shot, or will I seem weird or desperate or something? To me, it's clear that something is there, but I don't want to misread the situation and then ruin it. That's hard because if she is misreading the situation, she, like, tries asking out and he's like she still sits next to him in class and sees him at church.
Maybe just casually invite him to, like,
maybe don't. I'm about to invite him in, like, a group setting.
Skating. Do you want to come?
Yeah, or maybe don't be like, I like you. Like, just be like, hey, do you want to, like, feel out the situation a little bit more? Like, go invite him to, like, a group activity. Maybe a group date is also, like, a little bit more casual. Like, oh, my friends are going out. Do you want to come? Like, whatever. But, like,
yeah.
And then on that date, if you're like, wow, like, we're really clicking, I think you're going to be able to read that better. If you go on that date together and you're like, or that hangout and you're like, that was so off. It's not that awkward because you didn't confess your love for him. So, like, you're fine.
What do? I still want to be friends with my ex-boyfriend who I used to be best friends with, but I don't want his current girlfriend to think I'm trying to get back with him or anything.
I think just move on. I think that's probably the suckiest thing you're not wanting to hear is just move on, because I think when you do break up with someone, it's just not going to be the same. Like, I don't think you can remain best friends and then, like, trust me, I've tried it before. Like, you can't just remain best friends and then have it be that simple. Like, I wish it was like that, but once you've experienced something with someone, like, you can't just go back to how it was. Especially if he has a new girlfriend now, I would just leave them be. Especially if the boyfriend is, like, your ex-boyfriend's not, like, pursuing a friendship with you either. It's just, like, let them do their thing, go find other friends, and I think over time, like, it will get better, but I think it's too sticky of a situation. Maybe you guys will be best friends, maybe it'll be fine, and maybe the girlfriend will totally respect that or be fine with that, but there's also that chance, like, you start to like him again, but then he's in a relationship, things get awkward, complicated, so I think it's just a lot more simple if you just, like, leave it be and move on. My boyfriend won't stop talking to a girl he had a thing with before, and he knows it bothers me, but he doesn't want to stop because it's a good friend, but she's really flirty with him. Girl, not cool.
That's a red flag.
That's a red flag, because I think if your boyfriend really does care about you, he'll respect how you feel. He won't make you feel like psycho. Well, we're just friends. It's like, well, I feel like if he's trying to get, if it makes you feel uncomfortable, and then on top of that, if he's starting to spend, like, put in more time and effort and attention to this good friend than you, then it's like, okay, what's the deal here? Like, are you really good friends with her? Because here's the thing, if someone is dating you and they really do love you and they really do enjoy being with you, more than likely, they're gonna want to spend most of their time with you. And I think a good friend would be, like, unnecessary for them. Does it make sense? For me, I know in my past relationships where it's like, if I I really like the guy, so I'm like, I'm sorry, bye friends, like bye other guy friends, like I want to spend all my time with you. And so especially if they're telling me like it makes them uncomfortable, then I think they should respect that. And if he's not, then I think that's when you now have like that conversation with him. It's like, hey, like what's the deal here? Because this is making me feel uncomfortable. You seem like you're acting like it's not a big deal, and maybe it's not, but like this is affecting me. Because your feelings matter just as much as his do with this friend. And especially if they used to have a thing before, like a thing where it's like they both kind of, it's like, no, like you don't just, yeah, you didn't know. The way they worded the question was a little weird, but they were pretty much asking how do you determine the relationship. I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone and you're getting close enough, you're like in that stage where it's like, are we more than friends? I think we're more than friends. Like, I feel like that conversation will come naturally. Like, I feel like it shouldn't feel like such an awkward, like, what are we? And like, you know, like I think it should naturally flow and happen. And I think especially if you guys are kissing each other and that physical aspect is there, I think it would be kind of like, hey, like, just make it casual. Like, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Like, are we? And then like, if they're like, yeah. And then like that can be that. Like it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because I think if it's a big deal, then like maybe you guys aren't there yet. So
I asked out a guy on a date 2 weeks ago. I go to school with him and I knew he was single. I made sure he knew he had time to respond to my date invite, and also that if he wanted to refuse, it would cause no awkwardness in our friendship.
Okay.
Meanwhile, a couple days ago, my friends told me how he might be interested in this other girl in school because they've seen some stuff, nothing too intimate, but enough to tell he likes her. It's been 2 weeks now. Should I confront him on the status or on where he's at it with our date, or just let it slide if I know there's another girl in the picture? Also, should the person you're asking out on a date respond with a yes or no, or is it okay to say nothing?
I think it's respectful to say yes or no. I think I just like a common decency, just like let people know.
If it's been 2 weeks and he hasn't responded, is that what she's saying?
It sounds like that. It sounds like she asked him, 2 weeks have passed by, and in these 2 weeks she sees that like he's kind of interested in another girl. I think out of common decency that guy should at least say like, hey, like look, I'm just not interested, like no thanks. Because then now like you're sitting here waiting. I feel like been a few times with guys where I'll try to like easily blow them off by just like kind of not responding to a few texts or something like that, and then like they'll text me like a week later being, hey, like what's up? And I'm just like, if you have a crush on someone or if you like have any interest, like you're gonna know when they text you, like that's gonna be on your mind. And so I think if someone's not responding, I think that's kind of almost your answer. Now, do I think it's rude that the guy doesn't say yes or no? Yeah. If you really like, if this is like a bigger day, like a school dance or something, like maybe just text him or ask him again, just like, hey, like no worries if not, just wondering like if you're able to make it to that date or not. And then if he doesn't respond again, drop the guy. If he says no, then like that's your answer.
My life is so stagnant. I am bored and sad. A lot of people wrote in about just like, I feel like my life has no purpose. I feel like I'm in burnout.
Yeah, Evelyn and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. Like when someone's feeling burnt out, it's probably because they're not giving themselves like proper rest or proper like emotional and mental breaks. Whether that's like I love playing the piano, and I feel like that's a great way for me to de-stress. I feel like nowadays a lot of people de-stress by going onto their phone, and that's not distressing at all. Like it's so stinking stimulating to be on Instagram. There's so many constant like images, captions, new things, memes, like just there's so much going on Instagram. So when I'm like, I'm gonna take a 15-minute break on my phone, it's like you're really not giving yourself a break. There's a general authority like in our church, and he gave a talk where he pretty much talked about if you want to change the shape of your life, change the shape of your day, and if you want to change the shape of your day, change the shape of your hour. And so he was talking about like change in your life starts within this moment. I think when it comes down to like feeling like your life is exciting and fun is making your days feel exciting and fun. Whether it's just little things like playing your favorite song while you're getting ready in the morning, making your bed, getting a new decorative pillow. Like always in your life have someone to love and someone to look forward to, and you'll be good to go. And if that someone to love is your mom and something to look forward to is going to your workout class at 7 p.m. tonight, like that's a great start. So
hi, my best friend who I do everything with,
everything.
She goes, here's the problem. I'm the youngest out of all of them. I'm a senior in high school and they all graduated and are leaving on their missions.
That's hard.
My one and only sister and sibling just left on her mission, and every last close friend I have are leaving me. I'm struggling to find comfort in what's in store for the future. I'm so excited for college and to meet new people. But what if I don't make as close of friends? I'm scared no one will be here for my graduation, birthday, etc. How can I find a way to make the best situation? It feels like I'm being left behind.
That's really hard because like I even know my little sister Amanda, like she is, I feel like a lot more like emotionally mature. She looks a lot more mature, and so most of her friends are like 2 years older than her. There's gonna come a point when they're graduating and she'll be like essentially like, I don't want to say friendless because she's good at making friends, but like, I get it. Like, I see my little sister and I see that she's probably gonna have to struggle with this a little bit too. But, and I think to remember is, like, these people aren't dying. Like, your friends that are leaving on missions. Like, it feels like you're being left behind, but it's like, it is a short season of life. Like, a few people asked about, like, what do you, like, advice for sending off a missionary? And I think my biggest advice for that is, like, when someone leaves to go to college or leaves to go on a mission or whatever it is, they're continuing to progress in their own life, and so you need to as well, just as much as they are. Don't sit around waiting for them. Just, like, all sorts of things. Get a new job. Like, go find something that is new and exciting for you, and then cling on to that and start going with that. Because I think just sitting in your room and, like, wallowing and, like, I have no friends, it's like, yeah, with that attitude, you're gonna remain exactly as you are because you're not getting up and allowing yourself to move on. A lot of you guys in these question box were asking about just friendships in general. I made a video a year ago, yeah, a little over a year ago, and it's literally called How to Make Friends. But it has, like, a lot more in-depth details and just, like, advice on connecting with people and making good quality friendships. And so if you guys want, you can watch that video. I'll link it down below.
I texted an old friend I'd been meaning to reach out to. He's really cute. And initially it was just casual conversation, but he started flirting with me. Now we've been talking for over 2 months every day. And he's admitted he likes me, and he has talked since the beginning about seeing each other. He's off in college and visits his hometown very frequently, which is 2 hours away from me. But he doesn't seem to make any effort to come and makes excuses that it's too far. Our families know each other, and according to his mom, he likes me, but it makes me sad he doesn't want to come see me. What do I do?
That's so weird. If these guys like you, they're willing to put in quite a bit of work. Like, 2 hours would be like, I can listen to 2 podcasts and I'll be fine. Like, I really think that it's pretty telling if someone's not willing to put in a little extra effort for you, a little bit of sacrifice, because in general, like, great relationships are going to require a lot of sacrifice, a lot of personal sacrifice, and because it's like, also, you deserve to have someone drive 2 hours for you. Like, honestly, I would text him right now, get out your phone right now, no, and just be like, hey, like, I know that you say you like me, I seem to like you too as well, but I'm getting mixed signals from you because you don't want to hang out with me, you don't want to see me in real life, and so it's like, I don't want to continue this online situationship until we can meet. And then if he's like, okay, I'm on it, like, I'm on my way right now.
Yeah, maybe he needs to know how serious you are about, like,
maybe he thinks that, like, you're not that into him, because it sounds like he's confessed his love for you, but, like, have you confessed your love for him? Well, my memory card is literally about to fill up, so I think that's it for today, folks. I hope you guys got some more insight and some advice in this video that helped you out in whatever's going on in your own life. I hope you guys know that you're amazing in your own way and you deserve the best, so don't settle for less. And I will see you guys in my next video. And if you want a part 2 when I have a better memory card, let me know if you like that. And if you guys have any situations you want me to respond to or talk about, comment it down below. The conversation can continue. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!